A massive internal collision has just shattered the Los Angeles Dodgers clubhouse right here in early May. We are witnessing an unprecedented medical crisis revolving around the greatest baseball player on the planet. A severely heated argument between Shohei Ohtani and manager Dave Roberts has just leaked to the public. The entire baseball world is completely paralyzed by this breaking news today. The intense confrontation centered entirely on his physical health and his incredibly dangerous rehabilitation schedule. The whispers of tension have been circulating for weeks, but today those whispers exploded into a massive shouting match behind closed doors. Is this massive medical disagreement completely destroying the World Series hopes for the Los Angeles Dodgers right now? We need to look at the terrifying truth hiding behind this massive leaked argument right now. The coaching staff is completely terrified of a catastrophic injury, while the superstar refuses to slow down. Do you think a player has the absolute right to overrule the medical staff when his career is on the line? So tell us your exact verdict in the comments below. The stakes have absolutely never been higher for this historic franchise. We have to realize the absolute magnitude of this internal explosion. The walls of the clubhouse are incredibly thin, and the other players absolutely heard the devastating confrontation. Dave Roberts is desperately trying to shut down all pitching activities to protect the incredibly fragile elbow of his superstar. He wants complete rest and strict adherence to the cautious medical protocol established by the team doctors. But Shohei Ohtani is fiercely pushing back against these heavy restrictions. He insists that he knows his own biological limits better than anybody else in the room. This direct clash of wills is creating a deeply toxic and suffocating atmosphere on the bench. When the manager and the star player are openly fighting about medical science, the rest of the team feels the paralyzing tension. The daily rhythm of the Los Angeles Dodgers is completely broken. Pitchers are looking over their shoulders nervously. Hitters are stepping into the batter's box with incredibly heavy minds. The focus is no longer on winning crucial baseball games against division rivals. The focus is entirely on the right arm of Shohei Ohtani and the massive internal war over how to treat it. The media is swarming the dugout demanding answers about the leaked argument. Roberts has to stand in front of the cameras and pretend everything is perfectly fine while his locker room is essentially burning down. He has to smile and deflect the aggressive questions from reporters who know exactly what happened inside that room. This complete lack of unity is bleeding directly onto the field during games. You can see the frustration in the body language of the veteran players. They know that a divided team cannot survive the grueling marathon of the regular season. The warning signs are flashing bright red across the entire organization today. The Los Angeles Dodgers are playing with massive physical fire, and they are about to get severely burned. To understand this massive clash, we must dive deep into the devastating physical reality of the situation. We are talking about a human arm that has already survived multiple Tommy John surgeries. The medical reality is incredibly harsh and absolutely unforgiving. When you understand the kinetic chain of a professional baseball player, you understand exactly why Dave Roberts is terrified. Every single movement in baseball is deeply connected from the feet all the way to the fingertips. If the elbow is compromised, the shoulder has to work twice as hard to generate the necessary velocity. If the upper body is hurting, the lower half of the body compensates and changes the entire swing mechanics. Pushing through a pitching injury does not just ruin his future on the pitching mound. It actively destroys his current ability to swing the bat with maximum power. Dave Roberts is executing his fundamental duty as a major league manager. He is trying to protect the long-term biological health of his most important player. He is looking at the detailed medical scans and listening to the doctors who are warning about a catastrophic ligament tear. The doctors are telling the manager that one wrong throw could end his season instantly. But Ohtani is driven by a completely different internal engine. His willpower is absolutely legendary across the globe. He truly believes he can conquer any physical limitation through sheer mental toughness and relentless daily practice. He wants to dominate the sport, and he feels immense personal pressure to perform on both sides of the ball every single night. He cannot accept the biological limitations of his own anatomy. This is the tragic flaw of ultimate greatness. The player wants to be an immortal superhero, but the manager knows he is made of fragile bone and delicate tissue. Dave Roberts is desperately trying to save Shohei Ohtani from his own relentless ambition. He knows that the human elbow is simply not designed to withstand this terrifying level of violent torque. Every time Ohtani picks up a baseball, the manager holds his breath in absolute terror. But the deep root cause hiding behind this physical argument is what truly terrifies the baseball experts. The fundamental disagreement is about the basic laws of human biology and the extreme limits of athletic endurance. But here is the twist nobody wants to admit about this clubhouse dynamic. This leaked argument is not just a simple disagreement over an MRI scan or a throwing schedule. It is a massive crisis of authority and team discipline. If Shohei Ohtani is allowed to completely ignore the direct medical orders of Dave Roberts, the entire power structure of the Los Angeles Dodgers instantly evaporates. The medical staff is caught completely in the middle of this terrifying power struggle. The highly trained doctors write a prescription for immediate rest, but the player flatly refuses to fill it. How can the manager enforce strict rules on the other 25 guys in the locker room when the biggest star operates like an entirely independent entity? The answer is he absolutely cannot. This creates a terrifying precedent of total anarchy inside the organization. If a young rookie pitcher gets hurt tomorrow, he might look at Ohtani and decide to ignore the doctors too. The Los Angeles Dodgers are risking a complete and total collapse of their organizational culture. Furthermore, the lack of a unified medical plan is incredibly dangerous for the actual rehabilitation process. If Ohtani pushes his rehab program in secret, without the full monitoring and support of the medical team, the risk of a catastrophic blowout increases exponentially. One wrong pitch during a hidden bullpen session, or one overly aggressive throw from the outfield could snap the ulnar collateral ligament completely. If that horrific scenario happens, the entire season is instantly over. The Los Angeles Dodgers would lose their best power hitter and their future ace in one devastating moment. The front office executives are completely paralyzed because they do not want to alienate their superstar, but they also cannot afford to lose him to a totally preventable medical disaster. They are watching a slow-motion car crash happen right inside their own training room, and nobody is stepping on the brakes. The silence from the general manager is deafening, and it leaves Dave Roberts entirely alone on the front lines. The consequences of this shattered relationship are absolutely unthinkable. The entire franchise is hanging by a single frayed tendon right now. While Los Angeles frantically deals with this terrifying internal war, the rest of the league is watching very closely. The New York Yankees are experiencing the exact opposite situation over on the East Coast right now. Aaron Judge is leading his team with absolute physical dominance and total organizational harmony. Judge is fully healthy, and he is following the game plan established by his coaching staff perfectly. The Yankees clubhouse is completely united and focused entirely on destroying opposing pitching staffs. Manager Aaron Boone does not have to fight his captain over basic medical protocols or secret throwing sessions. The contrast between the two clubhouses is incredibly stark and deeply painful for loyal Dodgers fans to witness. Aaron Judge is simply playing incredible baseball and launching majestic home runs into the bleachers, while Shohei Ohtani is fighting a massive medical and political war against his own team. Judge is cementing his legacy as a true leader who respects the process, while the situation in Los Angeles looks like absolute chaos. The Philadelphia Phillies are also surging forward with dangerous speed and incredible momentum. They clearly see the massive internal chaos happening in Los Angeles, and they are aggressively capitalizing on the weakness. The Phillies are incredibly healthy, and their team chemistry is firing on all cylinders right now. Every single day the Dodgers spend arguing about rehab schedules, and leaked arguments is a day the Yankees and the Phillies use to get significantly better. Major League Baseball is a completely ruthless and unforgiving environment. The grueling summer season does not pause for anybody to fix their broken relationships or heal their aching elbows. The opposing teams across the league smell fresh blood in the water. They know perfectly well that a divided Dodgers team is a highly vulnerable target. They are attacking the Los Angeles pitchers with renewed confidence because they know the offense is deeply distracted. The window of opportunity is slamming shut for Dave Roberts and his entire coaching staff. They are bleeding valuable momentum every single day this argument continues. Every single day brings a new brutal test of survival for this massive franchise. A torn ligament cannot be magically healed by pure ego or stubborn athletic willpower. Biology simply does not care about how great you are or how many awards you have won. Shohei, Ohtani, and Dave Roberts must lock themselves in a room and find a unified medical strategy before this entire season is completely lost to history. They have to put their massive pride aside and actually listen to the trained medical professionals. The regular season is a brutal test of endurance, and you cannot survive it if you are constantly fighting your own coaching staff. If they continue this massive internal war, the Los Angeles Dodgers will absolutely collapse under the immense weight of their own dysfunction before the playoffs even begin. The reality of the situation is cold and incredibly unforgiving. Greatness requires incredible discipline, and right now the discipline in Los Angeles is completely shattered. We want to know exactly where you stand on this massive unprecedented crisis. Do you side with the careful and protective medical approach of Dave Roberts, or do you support the relentless competitive fire of Shohei Ohtani, regardless of the extreme physical risks? Let us know your honest verdict down below right now. The tension is reaching a critical boiling point right now on the West Coast. The entire future of baseball is hanging in the balance today.